So I'm working with my partner Nash Valentin, and we're working Crush unit. We're going after all these homicides. We're trying to solve these 32 unsolved homicides, black on black. In the city, they were considered misdemeanor homicides because it's just black guys killing black guys. No big deal per se, right? But they had families. It meant something to me. You know, nobody gives a shit. I wanted to make a difference. So he says, Paul, I got my friends. They're journalists. I want them to ride with you. I'm like, what? I ain't gonna have no reporter. You know what I do, what we do. You crazy? He goes, oh, they were good friends of mine, and da 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 da. And I go, okay. And he goes, I'll give you guys overtime. Oh shit, that was the magic word. Overtime, right? I like that one. I go, how many hours? He goes, I don't know, 8? Ooh, it's even better. So I called my partner. I said, hey, we got to drive around. I had a Cadillac, black Cadillac, right? I go, hey, we got to drive around some journalists for the lieutenant. He goes, fuck that shit. He goes, you know what's going to happen? I go, yeah, but he asked. But it's 8 hours of overtime. Okay, let's do it. So I whip my Cadillac around. We get up to the front of the Hall of Justice, also known as Hall of Whispers. We go inside, and I see these 2 older white dudes there. This guy, Neil and Paul. R.I.P. Paul. He goes, I jump out the car and say, hey, how you doing, man? Paul, Neil. And it's like, you guys got bulletproof vests? So they just came from inside. I go, for why? Why? I go, you're going to need it where we're going today. And they go, okay. So I pop the trunk, give them some vests to get in the backseat of the car. So they start telling us their shit, whatever, just whatever. And we're like, okay, we got to babysit these guys, right? So I start to drive to the Tenderloin, you know, crack city, now fentanyl city, right? We start driving through. Within 5 minutes, we're on view of kidnap robbery going down. I'm like, oh shit, we stopped, right? My partner's driving. I go, fuck, man, headquarters, we're on viewing a kidnapping 207, 211. Can you send us some units? Under plainclothes units, no marked units. We're gonna follow them out. So we're following them. Right turn, right. Fourth right turn, you know they know we're the police, right? They're going to the Bay Bridge. They're on the Bay Bridge. Oh shit, dispatch, I need CHP. I'm on the phone, he's on the phone. We're calling everybody and their mama. I forget about the guys in the back seat. So we're chasing them. The guys let off a round, you know, pooh, and the round goes somehow over that way. Woo, you know, doing this shit, right? We chase them into West Oakland. We get into the projects, Acorn Projects. They crash the car. We jump out the fucking car. We chasing them. We get the guys back. We come back. The 2 guys are outside the car. I kind of forgot about them, right? They say, this chase was better than Bullet. I'm a movie fan. I go, shit, I love Bullet, man. What do you know about Bullet? He goes, I was one of the screenwriters. I go, I thought you were a journalist. He goes, oh no, I was part of that. And the other guy, yeah, we're actually directors, producers. We do movies. I go, get out of here. They go, yeah. And I go, oh, that's cool, right? So we nabbed our guys. So we go to our car about to leave. Our solenoid went on the car. So we tell the tow truck, give us the stolen car. I said, take this back. We bring the prisoners back. I hotwire the car. We jump in that car. We go back. Let's get something to eat. Yeah, so we go to Wolfgang Puck. They take us to like $500 dinner. We eat. We're bullshit and whatever. Nice to meet you guys. Thank you. They go off on their way. I go, those guys are cool guys. 2 weeks or 3 weeks later, my sergeant calls, hey, my buddies are back. They want to talk to you guys again. I go, yeah, fucking Hollywood. I think overtime, free meal, right? So he zoomed back in the office, right? We go inside. He goes, hey, Neil. Hey, Paul. And this guy comes up. I'm Jared Bruckheimer. I go, okay, the fuck are you, right? He goes, yeah, you know, that chase was phenomenal that you guys did and blah, blah, blah. And I go, oh, they told you about it? He goes, no, they recorded it. I'm like, oh, shit, right? We were talking some shit on that fucking thing, right? So I'm like, fuck. I said, oh, that's nice. So I did one of those real quick moves, like, that tape was gone, right? Whatever, right? My tape. My voice, my tape. He goes, oh, yeah, we're interested in purchasing the rights to your life story. I looked at the lieutenant. I go, it's a conflict? He goes, nah. So I'm looking for cameras. I go, fuck, this must be internal affairs fucking cracking down. Our time is up, right? And I'm like, oh, shit, right? So he goes, yeah, so here's the contract here. You can have your lawyers sign it. And here's a check here for 100, da-da-da-da. And I'm like, right? I said, I don't need a fucking lawyer for this, right? Bad move, though. And they go, oh, yeah, that's great. And he says, what we're going to do is we're going to give you guys, we're going to write a script. We're going to send a screenwriter up here. Every year, if we don't make the movie, we're going to give you guys 10 grand. And then I said, really? Yeah. So, okay. So now we meet my best friend, now Larry Golan, screenwriter, brother with Steve Golan, top producer down in Hollywood. He passed away, RP too. We work on the script. We send it to them. They give us 10 grand. Another year, script 10 grand. But as this is all unfolding, all these movies are coming on, Bad Boys, Animated State. They got our fucking material in the fucking movie. I'm like, what the fuck? Third year in, I'm like, oh, this is bullshit. They're raping. I'm talking to my partner, Larry, and I said, they're raping. They're stealing all the material, working on the script. Jerry's putting in his movie for this 140 grand that we got so far. He's made about 200 million. We're getting raped. These guys are worse than the crooks I'm chasing. What the fuck, right? So now I got a lawyer, now I got an agent. I'm trying to get the fuck out the contract, right? Another year comes, they give us another 50 grand or 10 grand. So now we're at 1999. Now we're negotiating. They go back and forth. Basically, they turn around and say, out of the 270-page contract, page 246, paragraph 3, line 6 says, we're going to pay you another 100 grand. Shut the fuck up. You can't. What? So we got another 100 grand. And then it was like, your shit's on the shelf. Boom. Bye. I'm like, what the fuck? We just got raped. Didn't even get kissed, right? I'm like, ain't this some shit, right? So now I got a lawyer, whatever. So my buddy, Antoine Fuqua, top African-American director, and been working when I helped him on some other movies, Placement Killers and stuff like that. Cause I was just, you know, he goes, oh, I got a script, man. Denzel wants to do. I go, okay. It's called Training Day. I go, send it to me. I'll check it out. I looked at it, weak as fuck, right? I'm like, okay, this shit garbage. Gotta change this shit. Written by the David Ayers. Him and I don't get along, but okay, he's good. He's good on what he does, but this wasn't the real shit. It was about a dirty cop, Rafael Perez, blah, blah, blah. But had no swag. No swag at all. Okay, so, you know, I'm the guy there. I wore gaiters. I wore the Rolex. I got the bling and shit. I had all I mean, they love the shit. Cause out there, the crooks are too busy looking at all this good shit. You see what I'm saying? So they're like, oh my God, you know, I would SF, I would pull up on the guys and they would go, oh, where you rep? I go, SF, not a job. But, so I had the stuff, right? So what happens is that, I look at this guy, I said, I can punch it. He goes, how much? I go, 100 grand. I'll tighten it up for you. He goes, Denzel wants to work with you, blah, blah, blah. And he likes the waitress. So I went down there, worked with him a couple weeks. I really punched up the lines on the script, the whole 9 yards. I brought Brett down and my whole crew. We worked on the whole movie. I said, you need real gangbangers. Let's do it real, the whole 9 yards. I mean, you have some of these guys coming out with these fucking interviews like, oh, yeah, they didn't. You're all full of shit. You don't even know. 20 years later, now you guys have a rewriting history. You know what the fuck you're talking about. You know what I mean? So whatever. Okay, it's good. Yeah. So the LAPD guy, they wore jeans, a nylon jacket that said Crash on it. No, this was my get down. This is why he wanted to style the swag with the gold chain, with the, you know, the 2 guns. That's my holsters that he used. I carried 2 guns.
Yeah, motherfucker.
At work, I carried my issue and I carried my backup. So I come out, the best reload is a second-hand gun. You know what I mean? That's how I look at it, you know? So I told Denzel, I said, hey, check it out. I said, you're going to get an Academy Award. He goes, no. I said, you're going to get an Academy Award playing my character, not the dirty cop, but the swag and the whole 9 yards. So I bet him, he gave me a fucking ring, a rock, like a 16-karat rock for it. You know what I mean? So it was like that. So he got an award. So from then on, right after that, all of a sudden, you know, in the police went, I started getting notoriety. Oh, it's about Paul, it's a dirty cop. And they started like running this narrative. I go, it's about Rafael Perez. I said, we even paid homage to the freaking guy on the license plate of the Monte Carlo. It says ORP 967. September 67 is his birth. Officer Rafael ORP. So, see, a real cat, and then when I had my civil suit, I told you, they were trying to come after me. They had all these pictures. They wanted to subpoena Denzel to my civil case. Oh, you're a dirty cop. You, Denzel, you did a movie about you. I'm like, please, is that what you guys want? They were orchestrating this whole fucking bullshit. They had him on the screen. I said, then I'm asking the city attorney. I'm like, well, do you know you remember the license plate? You watched the movie. Definitely, 5 times. I'm like, okay, what's the significance of the license plate? I don't know. Well, then maybe you need to do your research because you're making all these claims. I was coming at them like, you know, took off the gloves. Let's do this shit because you guys are making up shit and you're lying. You know, you can't even lie right. You know what I mean? So moving forward, was coming after me because from there, all these other movies involved, but just have to take a step back.